guys! Today's video is all about different home or cage ideas for guinea pigs, and I want to show you some of my cages, some mistakes I made, and kind of show the evolution of our guinea pig cages to give you some ideas of what works well and what doesn't. Guinea pigs need a lot of space. They love to run around, explore, hide, and popcorn. The first cage I ever had for my guinea pig did not really provide space to do either. I got my first guinea pig in the 90s. I didn't have a computer then, also I was too young to be able to read, but my mom had gotten us one of these How to Care for Your Guinea Pig books. From today's point of view, the book contained lots of wrong information, so we ended up with a very small pet store cage. This would be a great example of a cage which is way too small, doesn't fit anyone's needs, definitely not the guinea pigs, but it also doesn't look very nice, and is just a good example of a not so good home idea for guinea pigs. A ton of years later, I had my own apartment, and even before buying furniture, I bought a guinea pig cage, a wooden guinea pig cottage. At first glance, the cage looked massive, especially compared to my very first guinea pig cage. It was also very pretty and looked like a nice piece of furniture. Unfortunately, however, the cage was highly unpractical and also not as guinea pig friendly as it appeared to be. We had two baby guinea pigs at this point, Pebbles and Frida. Since they were both tiny, the cage appeared to be massive, but hay and bedding always fell out of the cage. It was impossible to clean it without making the biggest mess, and Pebbles really didn't like the ramp as it was too steep. The cage also wasn't very wide, so it was kind of difficult to set up Heidi's. Unsatisfied with the price range, design and size of guinea pig cages offered, we decided to build our own cage that would fit in the corner of our living room. That was our very first DIY cage, and size-wise a huge step forward. The cage cost us around 50 or 60 euro, half of what the wooden cottage had cost. Grown-up Sylvester, baby Frida and Pebbles, and super tiny baby little one moved into this cage. The second level as well as the door were the best parts of the cage, and we kept them for the following cages. We first used a house as a platform for the guinea pigs to jump on the second level, then added a ramp and a platform in the corner, which was a huge hit with the piggies. Pebbles, Frida and Little One grew up. Well, Little One perhaps not so much, but the guinea pigs became bigger and the cage ended up being too small. So we rearranged our living room and made the cage bigger by turning the L form into a square. We first used bedding, then fleece for a little while after Frida's surgery, and then went back to bedding. This cage looked huge at first too, but after a while we realized that it would be nice for the guinea pigs to be able to run around, so we needed a longer cage. I also thought about adding a fifth guinea pig to the herd, and this cage was definitely not big enough for 5 guinea pigs. So we built our current cage. It is 3 meters long and 1.3 meters wide. One thing we learned from building the other cages was to let the hardware store cut the wood into the right sizes. It saves a lot of time, especially if you don't own a proper saw and live in an apartment in a city without a garage. It really reduces the amount of mess you make too. It took us around 8 hours to build this cage, and I think we paid around 80 euro plus another 20 for an electric screwdriver. The platform and ramp had to go because the cage was way too long for keeping the old wood. I didn't want a bigger second level because I wanted lots of space to set up different items and didn't want half of the cage to be set. So even though the piggies and I really liked the platform and ramp, it had to go, and we went back to using Heidi's as a platform/ramp. The door or gate is still the one from our first DIY cage, as is the second level. We also really liked the plexiglass on the other cages and went for an entire plexiglass front. So while our cage looks massive at first glance, we kind of gradually grew with our cages. The guinea pigs grew, and so did our perception of how big a guinea pig cage should be. We also use the Song Mix shelves as a quick DIY or CNC cage, for example if my mom goes on holiday and we watch her piggies. You can get these shelves on Amazon and they're quite cheap. Use a piece of pond liner as the bottom of the cage and it can be set up within minutes. We used to use the wooden cottage for my mom's piggies, but after discovering the shelves we bent it to the basement. These were all of our guinea pig cages, and I hope you found this video interesting and perhaps got some ideas for your own guinea pig cages. And if you're looking for more cage ideas, I have a Pinterest board linked in the info box where I pin cool guinea pig cages when they pop up. See you guys next time! Bye!